Live.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yay.
Oh, hi guys. It's Jake and Eliza and Carlin and Craig. Not Craig.
Hi.
No, I figured if we got another bearded dude, people
Nobody
would be
would ever
confused.
be able to tell the difference.
Yeah. This is Tim Farron. Tim produced the episodes for the entirety of its run, and I've known him since high school.
Yep. And I've got a little cameo in this episode. See if you spot me.
Yeah.
So that's it. So Craig, hi Gina, hi Francis, hi Marth. The Craig texted me about an hour ago being like, can't make it tonight, not feeling very well, parentheses, not corona. So we're assuming he's doing well. We don't know that for sure. but we have it on his text authority that he's doing okay. But tonight, Tim is in the episode. Tim has produced all of the Platoon of Power Squadron.
Tim and Ryan are like the most invisible engines on this series.
Absolutely.
Like just constantly contributing and never on screen.
That's the point.
Except for tonight.
Rarely on screen.
Yeah, and you agreed to do the part of Virginia's bow in episode 2, like under great duress.
Yeah, that's true.
Thanks.
much like this evening.
Yeah, I texted him like half an hour ago, 45 minutes ago, and I was like, "What you up to tonight, brother?"
Hey, bud.
Yeah,
Putting my kids to bed, so they might show up here. You might get to see them.
Yeah,
come out and say what's going on.
I mean, and Nora is a veteran of the Platoon of Power Squadron.
Right.
She operated Boom in episode 10.
That's right, she did. The baby boomer.
For one shot.
Yep. She did.
And she talked during it.
She couldn't help herself. She loved it though.
Yeah. Awesome. Does anybody want to say anything before we head into episode 2? Jobs.
I'm not looking forward to the video quality improving. I actually like the way I look in low quality resolution.
You don't have to worry because the video quality has not yet improved.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I'm just going to savor this.
I just think it's interesting. We're all staying home from jobs now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's good time to revisit the jobs of characters. And are
Just
any of these
remember how bad it is out there?
Are any of these
job
essential? World. I mean, you've got the Taco Bear. He's kind of already in a hazmat suit, so he could probably still be out there doing his job.
Yarn
book,
stores should
retail,
be closed.
yarn store, comic book shop. The rest is retail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which are essential.
Not essential.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But okay, Jackson, here, I'm just going to pull up some of these comments before we have to hop in. Nick says he skipped ahead, rewatched the whole thing. Still lives up. Nice. Jill wants to say hi, Tim.
Hey, Jill. How's it going?
Roy wants to thank everybody for making their part in making the series happen. Roy is an absolute peach. Like he's shown up. He's shown up on the movie boards as well. Craig and I started a podcast, and then ended a podcast. I don't. It's
That's my favorite podcast. You bring it back.
Yeah.
Do you not do that anymore?
No. We just haven't
It's
in
just
a long
timing.
time.
You guys tweet at them because it's my favorite podcast.
Hey, fun story. PoPS was used as the basis for my grade on a college project. Nice.
Is that
As the basis for your grade.
Yeah. How did that happen? And how did you do? like, did it pan out? That's the real question.
Thank you, Michael David.
What? Where?
Bring back Movied.
Okay. Yeah. I dig Movied. Movied is a good time.
I mean, yeah. When I'm not hanging out with my husband, I listen to a podcast of him hanging out and talking about movies.
I just, we used to, like, Craig and I used to do that, essentially that podcast in bars. And then he moved away from Chicago. And then I was like, ugh.
How many episodes did you make?
Of Movied?
Of Movied, yeah.
12 to a dozen?
Yeah, it's like
12 to a dozen. 12 to 20.
It's like somewhere in 12 to 20, yeah.
I'll look it up for you.
I keep like our last few have been like Marvel-y, and it's time to get back into like a weirdo movie.
Yeah,
you know?
Maybe that's why I kind of tuned out for a little bit. I would like maybe more.
I'm just gonna ignore you saying that.
You know my taste in movies. I was just
I
talking
do.
about I was trying to recommend
19.
movies to someone, and
19.
I recommended Raw and It Follows.
So good.
could've
Raw,
watched
actually,
Raw.
if
That's what I
the
wanted
Music
to
Box. So they're bringing it back for a midnight show at the Music Box, and
I would totally go.
Yeah, well, I mean, they might be if it's open by the end of April again. So,
Right.
I mean, it
In
was
theory,
on the schedule.
If the real world exists, I would go.
I think you tuned out as soon as that girl was pulling the long string of hair out of her throat.
Yeah.
That's when when she jumped ship.
Well, I have the same issue
love
with
that
like
movie.
Black Swan, and like when she like pulls the like piece of flesh out. It's like it's not the actual. It's not like blood or gore. It's like a certain, I don't know,
Like body horror factor.
horror that I just can't.
I get it.
Deal with.
Oh, sweet action. Also used a bunch of quotes from Jake's updates in my dissertation.
In your dissertation.
Boom, boom, boom. Dissertation, y'all.
Widely cited.
Dissertation nation.
Wait, can I see the bibliography? How did you?
Yeah. How did you annotate that?
Yeah, I want to see the annotations for that.
Shall we
What form did you use? Was it
dive in,
Chicago, or-
my friends?
Okay.
Justice for movie.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, it does sound like The Ring. I just rewatched The Ring. Talk about holds up.
Yeah.
Man, that movie's awesome. Okay, so guys, I have skipped past the previously on since we just watched that 2 nights ago, and we're going to go straight into episode 2, right into the thick of it, or the beginning of it, really. And then afterwards, we'll chat a little bit, and I thought I'd end tonight's stream by playing the trailer for episode 3, which is coming up on Wednesday. If Craig,
This is Wednesday.
Friday. Thank you.
Yeah.
Coming up on Friday. So
It is really easy to lose track of what day of the week it is now.
Right now, no props, Bobs. If Craig's better, he'll be back. Otherwise, we'll be back. And here comes
Just glad the cloning machine improved. That's all.
Yes. Here we go. Episode 2, guys. Let me bring it into the stream. Let me make sure my volume is all set. Bring that volume down low. And we've got our subtitles up. What was that?
It wasn't me.
Beep, beep. Here we go.
Oh, that was my phone. You can hear that.
Yeah. Oh.
Look at those effects.
I know. Dig that. Again, struggling with
Right
color
off the
correction.
bat.
But I liked it. I thought it looked pretty cool.
Yeah, you got some hot, warm, some cools there.
Yeah. I wanted people to think you were doing some kind of witchcraft or something.
What's the chatter like?
That's me talking and then me playing it backwards. I think I don't remember what I was saying. Probably something about knitting or how cool I am as a person or something,
Probably.
And there's
Hey,
Tim.
That's right.
Hasn't changed, hasn't aged a day.
Not a bit.
Me neither.
Hair out of place.
I think you play this so funny, dude. I love it. And you're basically wearing a Rob Scallon shirt. Those are the shirts that he wears in all of his videos.
Oh, Rob got it for me.
Oh, okay.
Is that a hair tie on your wrist?
It might be.
There it is. I think that's the best way to get around somebody questioning you. Being like, oh yeah, I did have a question about, I found it.
About strangers who are too interested in us.
People like us, middle class.
This is one of the early times when I was still not 100% serious about the show. And during some weird thing running this scene, I kept calling it an astronaut special. And then I was like,
where that came from?
yeah, or international exposure instead of international exposure or an astronaut special. I think it was just misspeaking during takes. And then I was like, I'm going to keep it. And everybody was like, no, that doesn't make any sense. And I was like, yeah, but it's YouTube.
That wasn't the only episode you did that in, though, Jake.
I'm glad you talked me out of it.
2 different knitting projects so far in this Those were a pain in the ass.
Are those socks again?
No, those are fingerless gloves, and I knit all of the fingers, and I will never, ever, ever, ever do that again.
See, so now we're on to just the figurines, which is a much better opening than yesterday's with all the green screens.
Yeah, this is.
How did you get permission to use it in the store?
We asked.
Yeah. And
Wait,
your
did
hair
we
is much
ask
better
this
now,
time?
Carlin. I like this haircut better than episode 1.
It's
You
definitely
definitely
better.
You have like silent movie star vibes going on
Yeah.
right now.
I mean, there's still a lot happening, but it's so much better than Mondays.
And you
And my shirt-
found that shirt at like a
I'm very
rummage
proud
sale
of my
or something.
shirt. Yeah.
That was a
That was
found
something you
shirt.
brought.
Poisons.
Yeah. She just found it at some garage sale or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's just got the perfect little
People like us aren't
figures.
supposed to sit idly on the
Match right
side.
up.
Yeah.
You're supposed to get involved. Stop crying.
We got
I
permission to
I don't
shoot
know
in
if that's
both of these
them.
stores by just calling. I just called the owners and I was like, "Hey, can we do this thing?" Half Price Books was surprisingly open to doing it.
Yeah.
And the
Really?
knitting store lady thought it was going to be much less involved, and she agreed. And then
Classic.
she like had to stay in the back of her store while Eliza sat behind her counter for like, I don't know, 3 hours.
Yeah.
She was very nice about it, but I don't think she was super happy.
I think we bought like $40 worth of yarn, and that was like a big deal to us at that time.
Harry Potter books.
That's pretty much every location.
And this is
that
Pete
you ever
Weiland.
had.
Pete Weiland is hilarious. He's just one of the funniest guys we knew from high school. He just goes all in all the time. And his Go
Yeah.
Bear suspenders he brought because he is, you know,
Figures all be in the same
he's an animals guy later on in the episode. So he brought Go Bear suspenders. It's not the team, it's the animal.
Weird.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for looking, and I will be back for those Potters.
All right. People want the audio up a little bit. We'll try it, but it might be too distracting to comment over.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Super cash.
How are you?
Totes cash. See, doing these split screens and everything in SD, like standard definition, was much easier than once we upgraded our cameras.
Look at your flip
Look at my phone. I was so proud of that flip phone.
A bad guy. I got a lead on the
You were proud of it?
Sebastian.
Like at the time, I thought I liked my little phone.
Oh, okay. I thought you were proud of it like it did really well in school or something.
What kind of bad are we talking about here?
It was real. It wasn't that smart. It was before
Going out of
smartphones.
your way to misunderstand.
Okay, I gotcha.
Confused.
You think you found a bad guy?
Yeah.
What bad thing do you think he's doing?
I think
Okay,
this guy
doing good.
is murdering
I love that you bring your little hand up. I think that's so funny.
Fox 3 on
My
his
little
tail
hand.
right now.
No way, you have your own superhero maneuver, the foxtail.
I love it.
Don't tell me Junior or
I
Johnny.
just think it's so
Probably
fun.
call the police or something.
Okay.
It's a really long scene.
It is a really long scene, but I like you guys do really well. This
We're
is
gonna
funny.
unleash the
Like
awesome power that's inside of us. Bye.
like,
That's the best thing. That's
like the putting on the head is like a joke. You can see this is a joke in the script, like jokey joke. But the way he said bye is even funnier than anything I could write. Like bye.
that's true. That
True
is
story
great.
about this location. I went there once and ate the green salsa, expecting it to be tomatillo, and it was jalapeno salsa. It was good, but it took me a second.
And on that soundtrack is Suede, Derek Suede Stout, who ends up coming up as the villain later. He is also just a
What?
musician, has been forever, has many, many bands, and one of them is a jazz band. He did a lot of
Those are
classic
crochet
standards.
hooks. Who sent you?
Yeah, these are crochet hooks.
I'm just a normal girl. What do you want?
I just want to
Again,
fashion
that's
a
great.
shawl out of this yarn.
Shawl? Who are you, man?
I'm a craftsperson.
Don't play
Taco
with me,
Bear
Mr.
was
Shawl.
my
You're a
idea,
craftsperson.
but
I'm
it was
tough guy.
because
But if you need me to
Tim
threaten the truth out of you,
already
go do
had a
this.
bear
I'm
costume.
down. What?
It was the
Tell me
best
who sent you.
$300
Or I'll
Ryan
use
and
those
I ever
crochet
spent.
hooks to crochet you a
You
shawl.
have gotten
Yeah.
your money's worth out of that costume.
Many times over.
Talk.
Came out at your
How
wedding.
long before this did you buy that?
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
How long before the episode did you buy the bear costume?
Probably about
And I was
2006.
at a taco stand all day.
And what did was it for a specific project? I mean, it's
Yeah,
been
we-
in everything since.
Yeah, it was supposed to be I can't remember what it was supposed to be, but it was from a costume shop in Beverly. And they were like, well, you could rent it for $100 or you could buy it for $300. I'm like, well, the script called for something else. We were like, there sounds good. So we scraped together
Nice.
$300 and it was falling apart already, when we bought it. And
now
it's still
Taco Bear
falling apart.
lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good. I think Ryan's got it somewhere.
With the economy being the way it is,
My talking about the Lost forums was a real story. Like I really tried to comment on the Lost forums and people were real mean.
When they see someone in an animal costume. There's this guy that comes in all the time. Doesn't even buy a taco. Dude is sick. Taco! Taco! Taco!
So that's
Mark
Mark Bonadies.
Yeah.
He
Another example of us just
every time
flagrantly using our friends.
every time I see him, he says he wasn't wearing anything under that robe. He roasts great coffee.
He sure does.
Dark matter? No.
Dark matter.
Yeah.
Is it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see him in Easy
Hey,
in the background.
Yeah.
go to a
Couple
place for a
episodes of
designated
TV.
period of time.
Yeah, I remember that.
Public.
Lots
That's
of
a
taco
great show,
love.
by the
It's
way.
a form of money.
Show.
It's called The Real Job.
What show?
Working at comic books.
Easy.
Easy.
You like
Oh
it?
yeah. Good stuff.
There's got to be something about it that you hate.
Well,
All I'm making is the sandwich is one of the funniest lines on the show. I am very proud of it, like Carlin was of her phone.
So he's always there. He just comes in to argue about nothing.
Wolverine's a lone wolf by nature.
So, have you seen how many locations we've already had in this episode? And we're
Lone wolf wants to be a part of
how far in are we? 9 minutes in, and we've had 1,000 more locations than the last episode. That's because Tim and Ryan sat me down and they were like, "It can't just be heads in front of white walls, guys."
This was such a huge step up, though. I remember, we ran all over the city shooting this thing. Our schedule was longer. And then looking at it together going, okay, now it's coming together. Like,
Yeah.
What are you doing with it?
now it's looking like it sounds.
Like, what are those boards behind Craig right there? Is that
Wanna order pizza?
Carlin? Do you know?
I think I was in the process of moving out.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
That was
That's
the.
right.
So all
Big
my
square
shit is like
bookcase.
everywhere.
Sure.
Or I was moving something.
How
I
many
don't know,
roommates did you?
No.
have at
Yeah,
this
you
point in
weren't
time?
moving out yet because that happened
Okay.
after this episode came out.
Well, then
It
I
was-
was
But
just
this-
moving shit around.
Screaming.
But I had like I was living with two people I didn't even know, and like, it was like a mess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Oh.
like your apartment, and you were in like the front sunroom as your bedroom, and they had like
Well, it
the
was
two
technically
bedrooms.
big enough to. I wanted
Well,
all
yeah.
the windows.
Okay, if it was
Yeah,
your
that's
choice,
that's fair game. I like that. I really always liked that front room. And if you had to
Yeah.
choose a non-room room, that'd be the place to do it.
My daughter does that to me.
Grabbing the lips closed.
Yeah.
This is my best acting of the whole show.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Broke my headphones. Actually broke off the jack. Your hair looks so good.
I know.
Why do you sound disappointed?
It doesn't look like that anymore.
the only reason you can think of.
Is it just? Look, your hair's getting longer.
I have a friend who shops here.
Is it not as
A lot
curly?
straighter. It's a lot straighter. I don't have the same curls anymore.
What?
She didn't
Yeah.
know anything about the paranoid rage, but she was right about the cute. I've been hanging around trying to muster up the courage to
How
ask.
difficult was it filming in public? So most of the time we're filming while locations are open. Like that's one of the things, and most of them are fairly untrafficked, or like when people would come in and if we were in their way, we'd shuffle out of the way until they left.
So you
But like Half Price Books was the best because they just would be open. Several times you see actual customers in our shots, like ignoring
Yeah.
us, which is great.
There's
Yeah,
at
they
least
didn't
one
really
shot where
care.
they're not quite ignoring us, but it's pretty subtle.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
usually have to
Not in
pay
this
for those
episode.
background actors.
Yeah.
exactly.
And they let you do it for years.
Let's go get him.
Hold on.
Yeah.
This is ordering pizza.
And Half Price Books let us do it for many years.
Yeah.
We came back to that same bookstore.
And now they're gone. Is that a coincidence?
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
they have a new location. I
Yeah,
was like,
they-
what do
they-
you mean they're gone?
They moved it to Vernon
That one
Hills.
is.
It's a
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's not as good, but it's still good.
First appearance.
I kept my pants on.
Were your pants zipped?
I don't know.
Was Jeremiah's character supposed to have a bigger arc?
No.
It's completely
Okay.
unrelated. I must have been walking around like this all day.
Sam Grant, man. Nobody delivers a line like Sam Grant, and he delivers it exactly like Sam Grant would deliver a line, and it's perfect. It's perfection.
Doesn't mean anything.
I'm not sure he can deliver it any other way.
I don't think he should, is what I'm saying. I think it's
Yeah.
like, and this is clearly me writing Clerks. I mean, like right now he's being Randall, I'm being Dante.
Either she brought some money,
A lot of
He
Spike
has
Love.
magnificent
A lot of
hair.
Spike Love coming up.
and you have to skip out on the bill together. That shared adventure could be the start of a bond between thrill seekers.
Yeah, they like Spike.
If you like
Spike
Spike,
is
wait
this
till
one.
Sam Grant.
What, this week?
And someone else pointed out Driftless Pony Club on the soundtrack. Absolutely. Got to use what you have. Got to use what you have. And I love DPC.
It's the same as going
They're working on a new album.
without any of the warmth of
Finally.
physical human contact.
I think I once referred to Driftless Pony Club as the soundtrack of Harmony Joyride's reputation.
No, 20 years down the road,
Yep.
he could end up dead.
Absolutely.
Chance. So I wouldn't worry about not getting in there first.
Yep. He even, like Shannon and Mallrats, he even looks like Ben Affleck. Look at him.
Yeah.
Trick.
Big trick.
When you do this, I didn't see you come in.
Hello, Andy. It's Spike. Lawrence. I know you do things in your T-ball league, but in the grown-up world, you don't get to pick your own.
I haven't watched this in forever. I love this dialogue. I wrote it, guys.
We know.
I'm a married man, boys. Real women are a far more intriguing mystery than anything you're gonna find on
It is
these-
funny. I like this episode.
These fictions,
Yeah.
maybe your whole lives.
It's
but
been a
to me,
while
it's
since I've seen it.
enjoyable entertainment while I pass the time when my wife is wearing clothes.
You didn't have glasses
You
at
might
this
understand one
point
day,
either.
But,
Yeah, this is actually before I had glasses as a person.
Oh yeah.
What a jag hole.
No joke.
Someone needs to shut that guy down.
This is iMovie music.
That's my house.
One of the many we shot in, right?
Yeah. Every time I moved, it became a new location.
Well, everyone's house got used at least once or twice.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that the deal of being friends with us?
Yeah. It's the whole deal.
Social contract.
Two of you keep them under control, and I'll go rescue whatever kids are in cages in there.
So here we get some more extras we didn't pay for, walking home or whatever.
You start crime.
Actually,
Yeah,
the people who saw the Taco Bear costume, they
Yeah.
got definitely more interested in what we were making than
Yeah.
like anybody else.
Like some guy took his picture with it, sent it to his kid.
Feels like when she sells her first box of cookies. I got butterflies in my stomach.
Hey, we're at Ryan's house.
Oh, God, those stairs! I forgot about those.
Pete threw himself
Kinda
like a
went-
madman.
This scene was hard because we could not like get him to deliver the lines.
Because Pete was so funny. Pete was so
He was just
funny.
making noises and yeah,
He
no,
was
it was
so
funny.
hilarious. This is a real petting zoo that existed in the building that our friend lived in.
It's all animals.
But they weren't on the top floor. They were elsewhere.
I love the story about how Ryan discovered the petting zoo. And so he was doing laundry and he heard noises. And he's like, "There's something weird going on behind this door." And he went
Already
to
a
open
horror.
the door. Yeah.
Already a horror story.
You've been abusing the ghost. Please, not me. Petting zoo. The kids like to
Here the goats go, blah! Like that line, he killed us every time. He killed us every time.
We're getting a group of crows in. A group of crows is called a murder. A herd of cows. A murder of crows. I want to make sure I'm ready for when they arrive. planning for a murder, as if these books exist. What am I supposed to do? I want to take care of these animals.
I knew what Jonas was able to do way before we ever made Pops, because I had a character named Apathetic Jake, AJ Apocalypse, and
Hey, it's what's his face?
What?
oh yeah,
Oh.
this kid is in a show that Ryan makes called Effed in Space.
Take it from the Taco Bear.
Wow, this is a really humiliating job.
It's such good delivery. That's so funny.
Again, this is another kid who like he could only talk one way. I feel like.
Yeah, but it's
Like
perfect.
it's so ingrained in your personality. It's so perfect.
Your mother must be so proud.
Look at Craig's stance.
If you're not gonna buy a taco, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. Please.
So good.
Please don't let me lose it and electrocute somebody today.
Taco!
Best payoff. Best payoff. And this is music you can just find on freemuse.org. It is a classical music site, and anything that is done by the United States government.
Good barbecue.
Great dress.
Thank you.
Yeah, me too.
My cousin.
Oh yeah,
I
so the
couldn't
back
be
of
there
Liza,
for half of it.
back of Eliza's head is her cousin Sarah. You can her hair is up. It's a different color. So
Bodies like that don't have a slow start. But then when it comes down to go time, it's like right down second.
the thing that you guys that you guys don't understand is having Tim Farron deliver this dialogue is the most ridiculous thing in the world.
Is this your version of Alec Baldwin on 30 Rock?
Yeah.
And making him say the most revolting. Hey, there's Ashley.
Ashley.
So Ashley designed the shirt that Jonas wears, the
Japanese.
antler girl shirt. Oh, Jill says my hair is huge. Is Jill in the background of that?
And I said I wouldn't care if you made out with my mother. Double standard? I think so.
But you're so natural at it, Tim.
I'm not so sure.
Well, you don't know what I say when they.
You're just a great
Camera's off.
actor. That is also true.
Why is it her cousin? Eliza had to work that night, I'm guessing, and could not be there till the end of the night for the shoot.
Yeah.
The blood coming out of his nose was a digital effect. I just painted it on in post.
I'm pretty sure.
And then we put real blood on his mustache.
The only time I have a double, but anybody who is even remotely the same size as Carlin was a double for
Has
Carlin.
been my double.
Yeah, I think I doubled for Carlin a couple.
Yeah.
I'm
David
behind
doubled
Eliza.
for Carlin.
So Jill's in the background of many of these episodes. This is a song by Suede. When I said he's like lightning, kind of frightening, I couldn't believe he had a song that already said that, and I had to put it in the episode.
I can't hear the. I couldn't hear the sound.
Can you now?
I mean, like I couldn't hear the song that was playing.
So when these guys agreed to do this, they had no idea that they would continue to be in the show over a matter of years.
Also, Greta is incredibly strong.
So Scott had a hard time holding her still.
She's a woodworker and a total badass.
She's an amazing woodworker. Greta DePerry, guys, check her out. Her stuff is incredible. And she also makes these really awesome like industrial stools, concrete and steel.
And what Marshall is a
bronze caster?
Yeah, Marshall's a bronze caster. He actually ended up casting Craig's mask for the 10th episode.
Oh yeah, it's right there.
So here's our big fight scene.
Yeah.
We choreographed it over 2 nights, shot it over 2 nights. Choreographed it over 1 night.
It shows.
Yes, it is a little rough. Sucker punch. There's just way too much camera work.
You cast Scott. You didn't know he was going to be a big role.
Yeah, so I told him he'd probably be back in later episodes, but not how big his role. I didn't know how big his role was going to be, honestly.
Yeah.
Trying to imagine Scott mugging somebody in an alley.
Yeah, again, Scott Hall, one of the nicest guys ever. Marshall Spenson, again, these guys are just super sweet guys, and we're so excited that Marshall had this huge alley-looking like dooryard to his bronze casting studio.
Yeah, his studio.
That we could like
Oh,
close
okay.
off and shoot action in.
I actually never really thought where this was filmed. That makes sense.
I mean, we did our fair share of alley shoots too.
This is the best.
1 or 2.
Straight razor. Straight razor. Why? But I love it. Jasmine's answering questions for us in the stream.
Classic Jasmine. Thank you.
Hi, Jasmine.
Jazz is the best.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really like this song.
Yeah, this is another Suede song. Suede and his buddy made this song, and he said I could use it. Love it.
How many different punch sounds do you think you used in this? Because I've heard
So many.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard only 3.
But so like halfway, like after a while, people were like, those punch sound effects are awful. And so I just started doing this. You know, that kind of stuff. And it worked way better in the later episodes. They sound more real because it's actually somebody hitting flesh.
Hey, bad guy. Dude. Oh, God.
I love this. This is the first time we slow down and be like, there's a little bit of real consequences to something for a second.
Yeah, it does give a good break to the storyline.
I was so proud of him. Like, I thought he was going to look really obvious that, like, he was on his hands, like, blowing into Marshall's. But then he moved his hands aside and lowered his mouth, and it looked like a real mouth blow. And I was like, there you go, Craig. Go for it. I mean, Marshall's gorgeous. He should just get in there.
Got that tank top going.
Don't do crime.
That ended up being like something that ended up being like a hyper quoted thing. Don't do crime.
That was never a shirt. Should have been.
I mean, it's got
Well,
the
it's on
like
the
it's got
back
the
of-
crime with the X out on the back of his hoodie. So
Which never turned out quite as good
It's the best date ever.
IRL as it
I don't wanna
was
think
in
about
theory.
yeah.
So many things are like that.
Yep.
Well, that's great. I'm glad that worked out for you two kids.
What a dick.
Wait, that was funny because we were engaged at the time and I was going to be married later. Anyways.
Perfect. Yeah.
Look at how cute you are.
Bam! And they were all
Awesome.
For real?
for realsies. I shot him so hard, he died.
He died?
He died?
He died?
He died?
That's another thing. I tried to go, he died? He died? And people were like, don't do it. Just say the line normal.
Is that Evangeline?
That's Evangeline. That's my friend Evangeline, who I worked with at the time and now has worked at so many colleges.
Uh-huh.
Since before I got home, lazy ass. You've been trucking me? What for?
So sad.
So sad. But see, he deserves it. Like, that's his comeuppance. That storyline was unresolved until the very last moment.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joshua Macro, for our subtitles.
Real Mercat. Love how this show hits on consequences, but not a very special. Yep. Thank you very much. I like it as well. Don't do crime. Should have been the senior quote for sure.
Not too late.
That's what I was going to say, Tim.
What?
It's not too late.
Yeah. Whoa, 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 guys. That's for Friday. That's for Friday. Let's get this out of the stream for a second. Yeah, guys, episode 2. Good times.
Pretty good.
Do you guys have any special fond or not so fond memories of making episode 2? Either of you?
Gosh, gosh.
No, there was because I think you were saying that because of all the locations. I remember that's when it just became more memorable.
Mm-hmm.
Like shooting it.
Yeah, that's true. Like the first one was just in like 2 or 3 like mega weekends in one spot.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember.
But I
having
remember
to-
being at the bookstore and Ryan's staircase and yeah, I don't know. It just started to take off from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember during the first episode having to like go get a cutaway shot, do like a little thing like downtown. It was like a big deal. We like drove from your apartment, like, all right, come on, we gotta go do this. And we were there and it took us longer to park than it did, to shoot what we were shooting. Like, all right, we gotta get back because we gotta finish this whole thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's episode 2 just took a really long time to do because again, we hadn't laid out the schedule ahead of time yet. That had yet to happen.
We didn't do that until like Tim, when did we start actually trying to schedule these things?
Oh, episode 7? I don't know.
No.
How dare you?
No, 2 is the real test. 2 is really when it started to be like, oh my gosh, there's so much going on. But
well, and I remember like after episode 3, I felt like that was when we showed people episode 3. That's when it felt like it was building momentum.
Yeah, well, so Craig had built quite an audience by the time 3 came around. So that was like 2010. So his audience had gotten bigger, and thereby our audience got bigger. People caught up on 1 and 2, and we had some really visible people talking about our show. Like Charlie Is So Cool Like was talking about us in England, and I don't know if Jack was talking about it. Jack Howard was talking about us yet, but that came eventually. And like people's support kind of helped it grow. But like I remember on the first day, this is like so YouTube 2010, but or even not for us, but like the first day of episode 3, part 1, it got like 10,000 views, which had not happened on the other 2 episodes. And I was like, wubba. Like, this is happening? Great. And so it just felt more real. And then I think for episode 4 is when we really started trying to like put a schedule together. With like Tim and Ryan came over and we started like really trying to schedule out the days, send it out to people. People would let us know conflicts. We'd reschedule all that stuff. And then eventually like I just kind of ended up doing it like way later on. Yeah.
It's always the hardest part. The scheduling is just always insane because it's just always moving and always changing.
Well, as the episodes went on too, we had a larger cast each time. I feel like.
Well, and as we got into our late 20s, our work obligations became actual obligations and not like optional. And so that got more challenging.
Yeah.
But in a lot of ways, locations got easier as the series went on, just because you were writing more. I know like in 2, it was more like, okay, whatever we can do to like get this out of the apartment. And
well, also like we had like, it was about our theory of like the jobs as the superhero versus our real world jobs and like how that, so we had to be in different places to make that happen. And it just kind of forced us out into the world more, and seeing how much better that worked for pacing, it just seemed to be the thing to do. And just, I would just write what I thought would make a good episode, and then we would try to make it happen. And luckily most of the time we could.
Yeah. And we had to adjust a couple of times, but I don't remember ever feeling like we had to give up anything that didn't end up stronger.
Yeah.
As a result of it.
Is there a reason Jake Jonas is a little more cavalier with his powers in the early episodes? That is a very good question, because by the end of it, he's also like, powers, responsibility. Oh, I can't. Oh, the drama, the torture.
Because you didn't know as much of his backstory.
I didn't know as much of his backstory at the beginning, but I also I feel like Jonas early on, before people like Donald's not out there doing a superhero thing. Nobody's really using their powers yet. So I think he was just used to using them in little ways for his own ends always. Like by episode 9, we know he put this whole apartment together. Like that's something he wanted to do, just to have everybody in the same place, like with the powers and everything. So he would do what he felt like with his powers, but only for his own ends, kind of, And yeah, and I mean, he's scared of them. You can see he feels bad as soon as he gives even a real douchebag a nosebleed. He starts worrying what he maybe did there.
Wait, did he? He didn't seem worried at all.
Yeah, he's like, he does that face.
There's a comedic cutaway.
Yeah,
true.
Expresses remorse.
There's a couple of t-shirt inquiries, and you guys are welcome to reach out to us. We still have a couple, but I will say, like, the good t-shirts are screen printed, and it's both expensive and you need to have a larger order. So it's challenging. It was challenging even in the fundraisers to get it sorted out. So
Janelle's on it.
You can inquire.
In episode 4, when he unintentionally used his powers on Ginny, that's when he tamped down on it, when he realized he was losing control. Nicely done, Janelle. That's what I meant when I said all that stuff. That's what I meant. Yeah. Yeah. Got any secret news on the new DPC album? Just that Craig played me 4 of the tracks without vocals on it, and he sang them for me. Yeah, I'm a buddy of his, so whatever. But they were awesome. They sound amazing. It's great. Matt's doing a bunch of writing. The guys are all coming together. They're gonna do it over a few things, I guess.
So they laid out the music and now they're writing lyrics for it?
No, so like Matt sends demos with lyrics. I don't have to do the whole DPC thing right now. It's okay. But like, anyway, I'm telling you, the songs are great.
We can shelve the DPC talk for when
that's
like,
actually
a member of the band.
That's for their live
present.
stream to do. You know, they get to answer those questions.
Do a live. They should do a live like teaser release of a song or something.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, see if you can talk him into it.
Just an idea.
Oh, well, hopefully he's probably watching this right now while he's sick, right? Like.
No, I doubt it. What future scene were you really looking forward to writing? I don't know how much of like I wasn't really thinking in terms of scenes. I knew that it ended with us using our powers as a team, as like a newly formed real team. But I like in terms of scenes, I like when we would start a new episode, I'd be like, okay, so what do they need to learn now? Or what does this character need to overcome now? Or what's this character to be challenged by now? Or what would be cool now? And not like it really even in terms of scenes. And like once I got that idea, I'd start writing scene 1 and just see where it ended up. Pretty much.
But didn't you know exactly what you wanted the last shot to be?
Well, yes, I wanted the last shot to be them overlooking the city with their new logo in the sky. Like it's a new show. Yeah. Like this is a show of them actually using the series is the Platoon Power Squadron series is a show that's an origin story, and then Pop Squad is a superhero show that we can imagine in our minds and never shoot.
And what a great last shot that is.
Yeah, and it took forever to organize, and it was because of one beautiful person at the Chicago Film Office that we got to use that. We can talk about that when we get to episode 10, but no one was looking to help me on that thing, and she made it happen.
That was a really beautiful location.
Mm-hmm.
Pop still feels like it's my baby as well. Truth. All of us, guys. I mean, we were all like this. The fact that the community showed up around it is so important to like the development of the show.
Oh, it's what kept it all going.
Yeah. Say all those douchey things, and he was a perfectly nice guy otherwise. Yes, Grammarhead, that is exactly what was happening. So that's how he ended up making his nosebleed, was by controlling his brain for too long. But then he felt like, oh, nosebleed. I know Carlin can't see the comments unless I click on them, so there's one for you, Carlin.
What's Brill?
Brilliant.
Cool.
How much input did everyone have into their characters? Like how they wanted their arcs to go?
Craig had none.
Yes. You guys?
I don't think I had really much. Maybe a little bit here and there.
Like she was your creation.
Yeah, you created and named her.
You gave her powers.
Well, true, but yeah, that's true.
Basement of Mayfair.
Yeah, but you wrote the character though. Like I just came up with
I don't know. You like, and after I did it, because we did Fall Free for All first, Green's Nursery, which was this show that we did for the comedy pilot competition in Chicago, and you played this real like out there kind of character who's talking to plants and petting them and playing them music and stuff, and probably smoking them as well. But like when you read in the first episode of Pops, I know at a certain point you were just like, why am I always like these happy, bubbly, weirdo characters? Because it's so very different than who you are as a person.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know. I like seeing you play it.
But is it like fully me doing it or you doing it? Like it's got to be a kind of a mix, right?
Yeah, it's a combo.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how I developed that. You know.
No. So like when you would play certain things, it would make me be like, oh yeah, she does that really well. And so like you know, do that, right. lean into everybody's thing, you know? Yeah. And I always wanted to get Craig and Jonas, or Donald and Jonas, working on something together because I thought the dynamic was really funny. And it was, but I also wanted to get everybody else kind of together. And I don't know if Donald and Virginia ever really had an arc. But Donald and Sebastian had stuff to do.
I mean, our arc was over the course of the series. It wasn't
tension between
Virginia. It wasn't episode by episode.
Conflict.
Yeah. But that's absolutely true. That's my sense too, Jake, is like as the scripts went on, you were tailoring to what you knew people could do. I mean, you were writing in a voice of a character that everybody had already started to inhabit. So
yeah, no, and once people start playing their characters, it definitely influences the writing of the characters. You see it in every show ever made. Like you see it like you see Andy in season 1 Parks and Rec, the biggest D-bag ever, turn into the greatest character on Parks and Rec other than Aubrey Plaza. But like that's like
well, and like Veronica Mars, like I'm pretty sure that
Ryan Hansen.
And I don't know that Jason Dohring was supposed to be the love interest
for
the first 3 episodes.
Absolutely
but then they saw them like on screen together and they're like, wait.
Yeah, what's happening here? How is this so electric? So they had just had to roll that dice. Let's see. Yeah, someone named Ty, the regular guy, was originally Donald, so he made the character. It's true. He got to name him Donald because he wanted Jonas to say, "Damn it, Donald!" For some reason, he liked the idea of that. Ty makes banjos now. They are amazing looking. You can find him on Instagram. Reenin banjos.
Can you?
Yeah.
I should follow him.
They're great.
I mean, I knew about the banjo business. I didn't know about the Instagram part.
Bellatrix Solo is a dope name. Carlin, I think you hated it. Didn't you hate it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate
you were like, Bellatrix Solo. Bellatrix from Kill Bill, and Solo because she wanted to be alone.
Bellatrix from Kill Bill, not from Harry Potter?
I don't know. Wait. No, it's Beatrix is in
Kill Bill.
Kill Bill. Bellatrix from
Harry
yeah,
Potter.
so I guess it was Harry Potter. I do like Harry Potter, so that's probably the thing.
And I don't, so that's probably why.
I almost felt like Fox 4 was Carlin's foil for real life. Do you feel like you had more in common with 4 than the others?
Yeah, probably. I mean, like some of it, not like all of it, but probably more related to her.
Sure. Okay, cool. Let's just do we've been at this for almost an hour. So why don't we show trailer 3? And then I had somebody be like, there was a comment back here. Where was it? Can't find it.
Wait, there was one about updates.
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking for.
Just scroll down just a little bit because that's something that you were talking about.
I was talking about that. Let's see. Anyway, I'll just talk about it now. Somebody asked, and thank you for asking, can we see a couple of updates from the time to get us into it? And instead of making that part of the live stream, I'm just going to do episodes and trailers. I thought I would post some on my Twitter like tomorrow, like something that happened between 2 and 3, an update. One of my particular favorites or something that kind of happens or was one of the more influential things happening for episode 3. So if you just check my Twitter tomorrow, I'll have an update for you to check out for that.
Will that be posted on Facebook as well?
Sure. I'll post it on Facebook too.
Put it on Facebook because I don't have Twitter.
Yeah, because Twitter sucks. I know.
Now's not the time to start, Carlin.
I can't stop looking at it, and it sucks. I hate it.
I'm not going to.
Jack Saunders.
Instagram's only getting better.
It was me. It was Jack Saunders. So cool. Yeah. So here is the, what's my Twitter? In a real bout of forward thinking, it is Jake Jarvie.
I think you could change your handle if you
Yeah,
really
I should. I probably should. I should take the Pops out of it at this point. But Pops Jake Jarvie is my handle. Ooh, VFX Gunfight update is amazing. Channel Battle update 68. I love that one.
Oh yeah.
But it doesn't really have anything to do with the episodes. Here we go.
How much have
This is episode 3.
Yep.
Oh, rooftop scene.
I'm ready to start my life as an epic crime fighter, and I could use some pointers.
You think my super weakness is alcohol?
There's only one way to know for sure.
Uh-oh.
Just be yourself. But there's so many Sebastians. How do I know which one is me? Not easy.
But you can stop time. That's amazing.
It's dangerous.
An evil supernatural entity has reared its misshapen head.
What did you do? I don't know how to stop
The
it.
4 of us are the only thing that stand between it and the Earth's destruction.
Okay.
So much punch.
There's so many things
A
to
lot
look
of
forward
things happened
to.
in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's why people were like
Alright.
hyped about episode 3. You can see what we've been watching. Bon appetit, bon appetit, bon appetit, hot ones. Yeah,
That
man,
could have been
episode 3.
embarrassing.
not the way we live.
Mm.
It's drunk acting coming up. Yeah, the rooftop sequence is still one of the things that people talk to me most about from the entirety of the Pop
Really?
series. The drunk rooftop. Yeah.
It's great.
Oh, technically, Virginia caused more deaths than anyone. How?
Can you expand upon that?
Yeah, I don't understand how. Oh, Michael would die for Claire Saffitz. Hey, dude.
That's a
understand.
great YouTube video.
I understand.
Have you seen that one?
No.
Okay. It's delightful. Something to watch later.
Yeah, so that's it, guys. Episode 3 on Friday. Thank you for tuning in. Any last comments for episode 2, guys? I feel like we kind of covered it.
Tim, thanks for being
Yeah,
here.
Tim, thanks for jumping in on such short notice.
It's nice to
Glad-
see your face.
Glad to be asked. Glad to be here. It's nice to see all your faces.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
And we will see you guys on Friday.
Oh, because I caused the villain.
Oh, because she caused the villain.
How many people?
There's no way that that beats the Jonas body count. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I don't think
Probably
so.
not.
But that's not maybe something that they know
Yeah,
necessarily.
Jonas's body count is way higher than the amount of people the smoke monster kills in this show. But on that note,
Hey.
everybody stay inside, wash your hands, and treat people with kindness. Especially on Twitter, that place is a hellhole. I'll see you on Friday, 9:30 p.m. Peace.